Let's grab a message, if we may. What's the message? Three of Wands. Somebody's made plans and their ships are coming in. You can see them. They're right there. What are you wearing? A floaty. It looks like you're going to meet your ships in the water. I don't know. What's the message? Queen of Cups. Oh, yeah. Right up in the water. It must be your element, at least today. Somebody is very nurturing and a soft spot. Somebody might think of you as home. Maybe you've been away and you're coming home. Or something about what you've planned for. You've put a lot of time and effort into it, a lot of compassion into this project. Let's see. What's the message? May we get a message for my babes? What's the message? Temperance. Pouring that water into another cup. Somebody here is about to have their anxiety soothed by the ships that are coming in. It's like you've been patient and it's been in order for the temperance to be here, something must have been a little rocky. It looks like these waters are a little rocky, but they are being soothed by understanding, soothed by the compassion. What's the message? Three of Wands? What's the Three of Wands? The Hanged Man. Somebody is enlightened, or needs to be, or will be, or going to hang there until you see something different. Or somebody you're connected to is forced to be in timeout until they see a new perspective. Maybe the new perspective is what you've been planning, and these ships that are coming in will allow for this new perspective. Justice? My favorite energy. Clarifying the Queen of Cups. What's the message? Something here feels right. It feels right. Like it's not quite accomplished, but it's like what's gone into this is creating some sort of justice. The amount of compassion is being justified. What's the message? The Star? Justice. The Star and Temperance. Temperance clarified by the Star? We have 4 out of 6 cards on the board that are major arcana. Big energy here. I just gotta search. The Empress at the bottom. Oh my gosh. You don't have to be a woman. It's an energy, the difference of the emperor and the empress. Whatever. It's like somebody is in receiving mode, receiving some healing that is soothed by the compassion of the project. Somebody had to be enlightened in a way. It's like the Three of Wands. Somebody's waiting. The Hangman is somebody who's for sure waiting. Temperance also kind of insinuates waiting. Something is being acclimated to. While you were waiting, while you've been nurturing and justifying this project, you've been gaining the power of temperance. It's like the agony, the burn of having to push through something in order to make it manifest in the proper way, nurtured with the compassion to make sure something is justified, justice is served. What is this? I actually am just reading the cards. I don't know what you're doing or why, but it's so beautiful. It's aligned with the stars. It's healing. You're a healer, and you are finally getting justice through a final project that's coming to fruition. What are you doing? What's the message? What is this? Perhaps the project is not tangible, but a wisdom of some sort gained, knowledge of patience. I know. The knowledge of the next level of your healing, your compassion for justice. I'm going to try to put this into words. The narcissist empath dynamic is I don't know if all of us are one or the other, but I'm pretty certain all of you guys here are more empaths than narcissists. Otherwise, could you not? We don't. Just. Anyways, I was gaining the understanding, compassion for justice, patience with the healing process, waiting for some sort of enlightenment, and then bing, I can barely hold on to this pearl of wisdom because it's so watery. When we are connected to somebody toxic or a narcissist or somebody that is just draining our energy, we have this amount of compassion to want to help. It is in our blood to serve justice and heal the world. And so we're drawn to the toxic narcissist because there's no need to connect with the other healers unless you want to just have a coffee. I don't know. Of course, there's reasons to connect to other healers, but for some reason, we gravitate to the opposite. At least, that's been my situation. I'm trying to get this out. It's a pearl of wisdom here that's hard to hold. It's very watery. It's the spirit of the line where you stop helping and you're just enabling. Okay, so I'm getting emotional. When we want to tweak the narcissist perspective or help them better their lives, they might not be a narcissist, but they're fumbling in life and you want to give them a leg up. If they're not trying to help themselves or tweak their toxic ways of thinking, sucking your blood, then you're wasting your energy. And then it becomes a problem and there can be resentment. And when, let's say there's a blowout and you're like, I hope they get what they deserve. I hope they at least suffer from our absence. My point is, the thing that you have been trying to help them with seems like it is only possible once you exit. And so the very thing you were trying to help them with, I'm still not putting this in the words. It's so hard for me to pinpoint this pearl. It's like, when we kind of have this resentment and we want them to suffer for what they have put us through, it's like, it's bizarre because at the same time, we were trying to prevent at all costs, even to the detriment of our own energy, them suffering any more than they had to. And then this fine line flips where you want them to suffer in a sense because they need to pay for the fucking succubus. The injustice, the lack of compassion for all your tempering and the healing. And so the very thing you're trying to prevent them from suffering with all of your compassion ends up being the very thing you hope they suffer from. Okay, there it is. But in reality, you really don't want them to suffer. But that suffering is perhaps the one thing that will shift them, if anything, could. And so, just don't put so much of your time and effort into giving them a leg up when what the leg up might be is a little suffering on their part where they don't get your compassion and they have to figure something out or go suck on somebody else. Unfortunately. But what a fine line. From the very thing you were trying to prevent them from suffering is the one thing that they need to suffer through in order to get to the place where you were trying to get them. It's perhaps. So, all this planning, being in the hangman, compassion for justice, and tempering the star energy. Empress at the bottom. Oh, the Chariot is now at the bottom. Somebody's project is sometimes the result of your absence. And then you're absent, and so you don't know if they ever shifted into some sort of elevated consciousness that you were trying to compassionately help them get there, justify the whole situation through all your work. So I think you guys get the point. Whatever if we don't have a narcissist to work on and the narcissist doesn't have an empath to work on, then like, what are we doing? We can do it from a distance through a channel. The narcissist can come suck all they want from your channel or whatever product, whatever. Just it just might be the very thing you're trying to accomplish is the thing you're trying to prevent. They need a little suffering. I don't know. If they're not trying to help themselves, they're just such a waste of time. We have healing here for the temperance and all the work that you've been doing. It's like your path is clear. There's nothing stopping you from going forward as long as you don't let it. It looks like everything you've been working for, and then the 9 of Cups at the bottom, it's like by moving forward, it's a dream come true. Your ships are right in front of you. I don't know exactly what this is, but you know, the justice. Somebody has compassion for justice. Makes me want to cry. Your healing arts are being tempered by your compassion to see the tough love, perhaps, that needs to be. It's like, isn't it bizarre? The one thing you try to prevent them from suffering is the one thing they need in order to do the level up that you were trying to guide them to do. It's so bizarre. And it doesn't always work out. And personally, I never know what happens once I exit because I never look back. At least I try not to. Just know that your ripples are there. You make an impact just by existing. And if anything, you guys touch me in a way that it is vital to my existence. Okay? So that's what I have. I love you guys so much. I hope that helped. Until next time.